Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's Success Life Live. My name is Reid. I'm so glad you took time out of your morning to jump in and join me. Or if you're watching later in the day in the replay, hey, glad you stopped in. Happy hashtag replay, so to speak. So today is Monday, July 1st, and happy Canada Day to all my friends in Canada. We are in the middle of July 4th week. I mean, it shows up on a Thursday this week. So I think everybody's trying to figure out, do I start the holiday on Wednesday? Do I start it on Monday? Do I just make a week or 2 weeks of it? Whatever you choose to do, I hope that you spend this week with friends and family and loved ones in celebrating our country. And when you see those servicemen who have made this possible, give them a thanks, give them a shout out, give them a pat on the back. July 4th is a really unique little holiday. It's a great time to gather with friends, but also to remember what we have in this country and why we can actually sit down and gather and make open thoughts like this without fear. So good morning and happy July 4th week to everybody. Good morning, John. Good morning, Elizabeth. Good to have you guys in the house. We had 4th of July fireworks on Saturday night here in the neighborhood, and so it was an all day with the kids at the pool and then fireworks, and by like 10:30 everybody's dragging their butts back home. Dad duty, gotta tell you, it's wearing me out. Too old for this dad duty. Good morning, Dr. Reid. Good to have you in the house. I'm going to talk about giving up and failure today, so hey, stay tuned. We'll get into that. Don't forget, we got a newsletter tomorrow, Q&A Wednesday, Fun Friend Friday coming up. If you missed last week's Fun Friend Friday, because of technical issues and everything going chaos, I pushed it together as a podcast, and it's available over on the podcast channel. And then in the feed below, the video is up there on YouTube. It's in 2 parts, and I apologize. Technology was just being a beast on Friday, and I couldn't conquer it. So we did the best we could. And that's really sort of the segue into today. There's giving up and there's failure. And sometimes I think we confuse the impossible for giving up, or we give up and we say we failed. And the difference is giving up is the choice. Giving up is where we say, you know what, hands in the air, I give up. We either say it out loud or in our minds and in our spirits. Failure is the process towards success. Example, Apollo 13. Haven't seen it? Check it out. There's all the movies out there. They were supposed to head to the moon, jump out of the spacecraft, go on the moon, come back, come home, no problem. Well, let's just say it took a really bad turn. Houston, we have a problem. The capsule, the thing that we were supposed to come back to Earth in, isn't working. It's blown a gasket. And the thing that we're sitting in, the orbiter thing, this wasn't designed to travel back to Earth. And by the way, don't have a rest stop. Failure was the inability to land on the moon. Had they given up, there would have been men dead in space. They made a choice that, okay, we've had a failure. And in some ways, there's this term called successful failures. The ones that are the failures that lead us to new awareness, new knowledge, new learning, new growth, new ideas that end up creating the success on their own. So everything that the Apollo 13 mission learned on the way of returning those astronauts safely to Earth, it's been used over and over again. The mission changed midway. The original mission, failure. But they didn't give up. The secondary mission, major success. You may have started the year with a mission. You may have started the year with a goal or an idea or a project or a desire or an income or a weight loss or a relationship thing, and you haven't achieved it. And you may have even given up. You may have said, you know what, this is never going to work. It's never going to happen. I'm out. I'm over. I'm done. I give up. What if you shifted the mission today, July 1st? If you said, you know what, the original mission, we're scrapping it. That is not the goal. That is not where you know what, landing on the moon right now is not the goal. Getting the astronauts home safely, that's our new mission. How can we be successful at this new mission? Because I'm not giving up on this. I'm not going to just let it sit out there and die. I may have said I wanted to run the Peachtree Road Race, but I'm not in condition. I may have said. So what is a new mission? What is a new idea? What is a new thought? Maybe it's the turkey trot or whatever you want to call it. Maybe you had a financial goal for your business of hitting a certain benchmark and you haven't quite landed there. Okay, so what would 6 months of that goal look like instead of a year's worth of that goal? What would 30 days of that look like? 90 days? Find a new mission, but stop giving up on going towards your dream. So many times I hear people say, it's just impossible. And I hear this with my kids more often than not sometimes. They're like, it's impossible. And I'm like, what? And they'll explain it. And maybe I'll give them an idea or two, or we'll look at it a different way, or we'll change our perspective on it. And I'll sit there like, yeah, I could do that part. Okay, so what would happen if we did that part? Well, then maybe, look, we're no longer in giving up mode. We're in understanding that failure is part of the process of success, and that we're going to fail and fail and fail and fail and fail and fail and then fail again. We've all heard that quote. Thomas Edison invented the light bulb 9,999 times. It just didn't work until the 1,000th time. There's a difference. We'd be sitting in the dark if he gave up at number 500. He was okay with accepting the failures and the setbacks and turning them into successes. I'm asking you guys to just take a look at your Monday. Take a look at your mid-quarter, mid-year benchmark. We just closed out 6 months. And say, when I look back at what I said I was going to do in January, December 31st, whatever, and I look where I'm at, and I may not have achieved those goals in my finances or my fitness or in my relationships or in my business growth, is it because I gave up? Did I assume that my failure meant that it was impossible? Because it isn't impossible. Nothing that has been placed in your heart, in your soul, in your desires, in your being is impossible. The way that you're maybe going at it isn't the best, isn't the most perfect, isn't the course towards success. And, when I watch the Apollo movie, and what I love is there's these guys spinning around in this module, just like, okay, what are we going to do up in here? But there's a whole team of people down on the ground flipping through books and, duct taping tubes and, the whole thing. If you haven't watched the movie, check it out, because it's funny. They're like, okay, that didn't work. Try this. That didn't work. Try this. Try this. And somebody would shout out a crazy idea and somebody would be like, really? And they're like, look, we've got guys in space that need to get home and they're running out of air. Are you going to look at my idea and laugh, or are you going to give it a test? Figure out what ideas may seem crazy to you achieving your goals in this next 30 days, moving forward in the second half of the year. Stop giving up. Stop giving up on yourself. Stop giving up on your dreams and your desires and the life that you want. There is a way to achieve it. And sometimes achieving that goal requires that we gain perspective from other people. In my mastermind groups or mentorships or coaching or just sitting down and studying other people's lives. All right, so let's stop confusing failure and giving up. Let's take accountability and say, I gave up. I gave up. I gave up. I gave up. It's not who I am. It's not what I want to be. It's not part of my nature. It's not the character that I want to build. But in this case, it's clear I gave up. It's not that it was impossible. It's that I perceived it as impossible and I chose to give up. I chose to give up instead of keep on pushing. And if it's really, really worth it to you, if it really means your life, you can't give up. You can't die with that unfinished business. All right? So happy Canada Day to everybody. Oh, Canada. It's funny, I'm from Minnesota, and I often tell people, yeah, I'm from Minnesota. And they're like, oh, which part of Canada? I'm like, no, that's Manitoba. I'm Minnesota. It sounds the same. We're really close to each other. Some days I think we are the same. When I grew up, we used to get Canadian currency, coins and stuff. And we would just trade them like they were American nickels, dimes, and quarters because it just was easier than confusing people. So happy Canada Day. Remember, tomorrow is Success Life Weekly on Tuesday, Q&A Wednesday, need your Q's to make it an A. And then we have Thursday, 4th of July, and then Fun Friend Friday. So many things going on. So it's a busy week ahead. If I can help you in any way grow your success, both personally and professionally, reach out, let me know, eric@ericgreid.com. Till then, have a great week, everybody, and a fantastic day. Go out and live your life with success. It is yours, and you are fully worthy of it. Fully worthy of it.